do you have like a short checklist for us, also for brand and communication leaders?
Yeah.
What would you
No,
look like?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We were talking about this earlier. So I spoke recently about this POV economy, right? So the perspective economy. And I think in order to really make it in this new world of AI and perspective taking, you definitely need clarity, right? I think that's the first step in this checklist is to have clarity. So develop a bold narrative. Know exactly who you are and what you stand for. You said this earlier too, like having that really clear um, story for yourself that you want people to know you for, that you're always going to stand by. Um, that's the first step is really having that clarity on who you are and why you do what you do. Second is consistency. So this is more about, and you touched upon this earlier, like building those systems, right? You love systems, you love processes. Those are so important in sticking to what you're saying and your message is having those
Yeah.
clear guidelines, systems to, create content, repurpose content. And if you work for a company, regular internal communication that safeguards your narrative and makes it feel real on every channel. Because if you're a brand and comms leader and you create a brand narrative, you have a lot of teams that maybe are working with that brand narrative to create collateral, client communications. They talk about it in sales calls. Like you need to make sure everyone is aware of the guidelines and that they respect them so that your brand feels real and coherent across all channels. That's something I'm so specific about is number one priority is making sure you're consistent and coherent across channels. So consistency. And step three is conviction. Here, I really bring in employer brands. I think it's so important. So having a bold opinion perspective, but also making sure that your internal teams and yourself really believe that story. Allow
Wow.
your
Yeah.
internal teams to talk about that narrative statement in their own voice. That's why employee advocacy and executive visibility is so powerful, because if your employees don't believe it, the market never will. If your
Yeah.
employees are talking about it openly, then the market will trust you a lot more because they see that same message coming from different people that work within your organization. Yeah. Agencies are great
Great.
to bring in an external perspective. I think when you're, like we said earlier, you don't, when you're so into your own work and your own messaging and your own world, like you don't understand that other people don't see all of that stuff. And so I think you need to bring in
It's difficult.
someone, a
Yeah.
team, yeah, that can help you see things from a different perspective. And I think that's where agencies can really help, other than obviously all the great stuff that they can contribute. If you don't have an in-house creative team, agencies can really help with that. But I think the perspective support is really what I value most in an agency, is really help us see things from the outside.
Anna, thank you very much for this conversation. It was really great to hear a lot of insights. What sticks with me, the POV economy, which is the new currency actually of trust, and clarity of perspective, which is one of the most leader has to have in the future. And yeah, thank you for sharing your thinking, your experience, your honesty, and it was a really pleasure to having you on the Brandidos podcast. And everyone who's listening, stop counting, start connecting. The conversation is worth it, and yeah, build a point of view so people can trust you, right?
Love it. That's a great takeaway. And thank you so much for having me, for the opportunity. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. You are the first Brandida on the podcast. Bye.
Yeah.
High five.